guys, it's Horsey Steph, and I am back with part 2 of Useless. It is such an odd name for a movie, and such a depressing name. I don't know why I picked this movie. I guess I just felt like a sad, depressing movie. But it hasn't been super depressing so far. I mean, her mom dies right in the beginning, which is really sad, but I don't think it's a super downer movie. Anyway, I'm still not really sure what's going on in this movie or like what the plot line is. So I'm excited to keep watching it with you and kind of see how it unfolds and what really happens. If you guys could hit that thumbs up button down below, like this video, and subscribe for more videos, that would really help me out. And let's go ahead and jump right in and see what happens. Alright, so this looks like it's some sort of show jumping farm. Certainly a big difference for Jessie if she's used to rodeo. Show jumping is so very different. This is my world, so this is what I'm way more comfortable in. I wouldn't know what to do at a rodeo. It's just so different. I can't imagine as an instructor having somebody just drop in and expect to talk to you. Admittedly, this trainer, Amber, told her to just drop in anytime. I would never, ever interrupt a lesson to talk to somebody, especially somebody I was considering employing. I would make them wait because my job is important, and I feel like it's not fair to her students that she just walked away from her lesson. I would never do that as an instructor. I don't care if I have an assistant that can take over. I feel like if I'm there teaching it, I'm clearly teaching the lesson for a reason. So nothing is more important unless it's an actual emergency, but this clearly isn't an emergency.
They're mostly thoroughbreds.
Oh wow, so a thoroughbred person. I love thoroughbreds. That's so exciting. I would guess this movie is older because thoroughbreds have really fallen out of favor in the show jumping world, but I'm a thoroughbred person. My barn is basically all thoroughbreds at this point, and you know, they're great. They're great horses. Can be a handful, but honestly, thoroughbreds are just the sweetest, easiest horses to manage once they have been retrained off the track and understand that their job is not to be like bottled energy. Once they understand that their job is to be relaxed, quiet, calm, safe citizens, they take to it really well.
Welcome to the team.
Alright, so she offered her a job primarily mucking stalls and stacking hay, so basically like barn chores. When I was Jessie's age, I did work for my instructor. I honestly had a much better job. I mostly groomed, did some light feeding and barn chores, but nothing like super strenuous. But honestly, if I had been offered a job cleaning stalls and stacking hay, and that was my only choice, I would have jumped at it. Anything to do with the horses. Definitely was me as a kid. Now, honestly, there are things I would rather do, jobs I would rather have than mucking stalls. It takes such a toll on your body, and it's really laborious, intensive work. I admire the people that can muck stalls for a living and not break down physically, because I destroyed my body cleaning stalls in college, and I could never go back.
Till one day, started shaking all over, wouldn't even move.
So this lady just said she has this horse that was bred to be a cutting horse, and one day he started shaking all over, and now he's a pasture pet. Honestly, seems like some sort of disease. My first thought would be PSSM because I'm quite familiar with PSSM, and I know it's quite common in quarter horses. HYPP also does a similar thing. I would be pretty convinced this horse has some sort of neuromuscular issue that caused him to shake, or perhaps a seizure, something of that nature. Interesting to me that she said this horse was great, and then she retired him for something like that. I would think you would go a little bit more in depth and really figure out what's going on, not just retire the horse right off the bat because he had one issue. She also said he's spooky, but that's, you know, she said he was 2 when he had these issues, so I don't know, a spooky 2-year-old sounds like maybe she didn't start him super well. But it's 2, so again, not uncommon. I would think with proper training and time, that would easily go away.
My son just pushed him too hard. Completely useless.
Alright, so she just admitted her son pushed him too hard, and that's why he's spooky. Like I said, didn't get started well, and as a result, he is now difficult. and needs probably a complete restart and a lot of work put into him. I can see why she wouldn't want to waste her time trying to fix that on a horse that also has some sort of medical condition, and clearly she has lots of other horses. So it probably just wasn't worth it to her to fix him or sell him or do anything with him. She just retired him. She had other options, other things to do. Wasn't worth her time. Not because he's useless, just because he requires some work now to get him back into any useful career after her son pushed him too hard and basically created a problem where there didn't need to be one. Pretty horse, and selling him for $500 because he kind of needs to be restarted and might not be sound. Not bad. In this day and age, it'd probably be a lot more for a horse that might be rideable. Honestly, the horse prices are absolutely insane right now. I would budget at least $1,500, $2,000 in California for that same horse that, you know, needs to be restarted. Spooky has training issues, also has some sort of issue that causes him to shake uncontrollably when you push him too hard, or I don't know, they weren't really clear on what triggered that episode. But I'd imagine that is probably treatable, at least for light work. That's so sweet that he's gonna use his saved up money that he was saving up to buy himself a rifle on a horse for Jessie. Truly a good guy. Like, these are good people. And while it's completely tragic that her mom passed away, I'm glad that she has this amazing uncle that she can move in with, that is really doing everything he can to make her life better and help her move forward, find her love for life again and her passion.
Every time I hear her talking about barrel racing, spending her whole life chasing a dream.
Okay, that statement bothered me. In case I have to cut the audio, she said, every time I hear her talking about barrel racing, I hear Robin's voice in my head, spending her whole life chasing a dream. And for what? That's making me emotional. I'm very much that person. I have been saying for just about a decade now that I wanted a Grand Prix horse, and I have been working to get myself a Grand Prix horse and get to that level for, like I said, a decade at this point, maybe just a smidge over that. It's been quite a long time. Right now, I do not own a potential Grand Prix horse. I think that my mare is max, if everything goes great, a 1.20 horse, and she's older and she has a lot of issues, so I mean, I'm struggling to get her to compete successfully at the 80s. She's a long way to go before getting to the 1.20, and I think that is her complete max. My gelding, I don't know that he will ever show over fences. Certainly can do the height, but he has so many other issues. I don't think he'll ever be a Grand Prix horse. So it's something that I am working so hard to get to. Honestly, one of the most important things to me in my life right now is to reach that goal. And I know that might sound really shallow to people, and there are a lot of reasons I want to become a Grand Prix rider and have a Grand Prix horse. I would never ever say that I am wasting my life chasing that dream, which is what she is implying. It's something I'm so passionate about. I want more than anything in this world, and I know that I will achieve it at some day. However, if I go through my entire life chasing this dream and never become a Grand Prix rider, you know, that would be disappointing. I'm not going to lie, it would be disappointing, but it wouldn't be a waste of my life. Because becoming a Grand Prix rider is just one measure of success and joy in something that I'm already so passionate about. I love getting out there and showing. I love competing. I love training. I love everything that goes into getting there. So even if I never get there, I'm still doing something I love, and I'm spending my life doing something I'm so passionate about. It's not a waste. It's not a waste even if you aren't successful. It's passion. And having goals, even if they're goals that are maybe unattainable or something we'll never reach, they're still goals. They still make our life worth living. And it's not about success. It's not about reaching the goal. It's about the journey to get there. Journey, not destination, folks. And my journey to reaching my goal of being a Grand Prix rider is gonna be my life, and I love it. I'm so happy to have that. Her mom's dream was barrel racing, and she spent her life doing it. Not a waste. Never a waste.
But I'm asking you here to be brave.
They're acting like the horse is what killed the mother, even though the horse was never what killed the mother. She got into a driving accident, not a riding accident. I agree with her uncle here. This girl has lost her mother and her entire life along with her mother. She needs something to keep her going, and horses were her life. Horses are her life, even though she no longer has one. This horse will be literally the best thing for her so that she can thrive. And maybe barrel racing isn't going to be in her entire life. Getting her a horse isn't what's going to determine that. And honestly, if she wants to barrel race that badly, once she graduates, she will find a way to get her own horse and start barrel racing again, whether they help her with that or not. So not getting her a horse doesn't prevent anything. It just delays it. Alright, it looks like they did get the horse for her, which is so exciting. I'm glad they did this for her. I think she really needed it. He seems like a really sweet horse, doesn't seem real spooked, so perhaps his issues are just under saddle, put too much pressure on, got him real worried. It's also sounding more like the shaking uncontrollably was like a fear response, not a medical condition. If that truly is just a fear response, super trainable, not easy, don't get me wrong, it's not an easy fix, but super trainable. You can totally eliminate that with time and patience and just being really clear with what you're asking the horse, not putting too much pressure on it once, letting him process, think, and relax. Seems good-brained though. I mean, doesn't seem like a complete spaz, so I have a lot of hope she could make a really cool horse out of this. Some horses are just naturally more spazzy than others. My gelding London can be that way. He's a little wired. Even with all the work I've done on teaching him to settle himself, ground himself, and relax, he is just a little, catty almost. And that can be a little bit more difficult. A horse like that is a little like catty, spooky, aware of everything. You can't train that out of him because it is just his nature, and having that with trauma would be a lot harder to deal with than a basically level-headed, relaxed, quiet, calm horse with trauma, because at least his base personality isn't that way. So you just have to work through the trauma so that he realizes he doesn't need to respond in a fearful way to certain stimuli. In this case, I assume riding. I'm gonna temporarily ignore the fact that they only have the one horse on this facility, and so this horse is gonna be completely by himself. You guys should all know by now I absolutely hate that. Horses are herd animals, they need friends. But we're just gonna temporarily ignore that and move on. That is just so beautiful. The horse is beautiful, the backdrop is beautiful, just amazing. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm really getting into this movie. I love that they got her a horse that she can compete on and really get back into her sport after losing her mom. That's so cool. And he's like such a quiet, good horse. I'm assuming that down the road this horse is going to become like a fantastic, amazing barrel horse, because we all love those feel-good, happy endings, but I don't really know how they're going to get there or what exactly is going to create this happy ending I'm assuming is coming for us. I look forward to coming back with part 3 soon, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.